Hi everybody, my name is Dr. Sarah Pye. I'm a storyteller. Storytelling matters in conservation. Storytelling is an ancient tool. It's been used throughout human history to pass on knowledge from one generation to the next. Oral cultures are particularly expert at this, using narratives to teach skills, instruct law, and even map landscapes. In recent times, however, we've separated the arts and sciences to our detriment. It's time we elevated storytelling back to its rightful place in conservation, because conservation is not about a few scientists. It's about shifting perceptions, buy-in from a majority, and engaging everyone. Scientific journals can't do this for three reasons. Firstly, because access is restricted. Secondly, because the language is not accessible to a non-scientific audience. And thirdly, because their messages just don't stick long term. Let's face it, scientists are not particularly good at telling stories. My doctorate explored how storytelling can be used to engage non-scientists in conservation. So, how does storytelling do this? What I found informed my own narratives, and I'm going to use some of my children's books as examples. First, Wildlife Wong and the Sun Bear tells the story of a sun bear cub called Damai, who's found on someone's driveway, alone and scared. She's sent to Wildlife Wong, who teaches her to climb, feed herself, and survive. Eventually, she's ready to be released back into the rainforest. This is her story, but it's also the story of her species. Narratives, like Wildlife Wong and the Sun Bear, use an inductive method, which works like this. By telling the story of one individual in a species, in this case Damai's, storytelling illustrates the bigger issues facing her species. Once the reader loves Damai, they actually care about the big issues affecting her species. Scientific writing, on the other hand, uses deductive methods. A scientist will tell you the number of sun bears remaining, how much rainforest has been destroyed, the value of a dead bear, like Damai's mother, on the black market, and the current methods of bear release. While this method is based on rigorous research, it doesn't engage the heart. Storytelling does engage the heart. It gives us a reason to care. But what if students don't read? Some kids don't read at all, and storytelling takes other forms like movies, puppetry, and hands-on experiences. All my Wildlife Wong books include a real-life story, informational text, and experiences or experiments that link back to the story. Take this book as an example, Wildlife Wong and the Pygmy Elephant. It includes a story about an elephant that sat on Wong's car, illustrating the challenges of living with dangerous animals and the importance of still wanting to conserve them. It also includes cool facts about elephants and experiments that link back to the story. I've created videos of each of these experiments and school workshops that engage reluctant readers. So how can narratives grounded in real conservation complement formal science and data rather than simply simplify it or distort it? Science storytelling helps scientists engage with a general audience. Telling stories about real scientists offers evidence of lives well lived and possible career paths. Almost every scientist that I've worked with cites David Attenborough as inspiration for their career. David Attenborough is not a scientist. He is, however, one of the world's best storytellers. My latest children's book, Curious Kai Asks Why, tells the stories of 10 real wildlife scientists and knowledge holders, but is also a fictional narrative. Curious Kai is a girl with endless questions about wildlife, like, are bats rats with wings or birds with fur? Or do songbirds have accents? Can fish fly? She and her mum go in search of the answers. Along the way, she meets real scientists like Bilby scientist Dr. Cassandra Arkansas, teenage conservationist Spencer Hitchin, and entomologist Matthew Connors, who has already named 2 new species. Curious Kai is about questioning our world, which is of course the underlying tenet of the scientific method. The more kids question, the more scientists and innovators are created. But it's not all about science. By blending a fictional character with non-fictional research and profiling real conservation science, this book blurs genre lines. I've published an accompanying classroom resource, which can be integrated into English and science education, furthering the reach. Using tech can help improve conservation outcomes, and that is a story worth telling. Wildlife Wong and the sun bear, for instance, uses H-shaped aerials and satellite collars to illustrate wildlife tracking technology, and they have the power to engage a tech-brained child. They aren't, however, the center of the story, because this tech might change over time, and making tech the central theme would impact the longevity of the narrative. Technology is introduced in what marketing industry experts would call a features and benefits analysis. What does tech do, and why is this important? Let's take the story of the detection dogs for conservation, which will be featured in my next book, Curious Kai Quits School. In that one, Curious Kai will join Dr. Rahman on a koala hunt. Meet Maya, Baxter, Bear, and Billie Jean. These guys have incredible noses, and they're instrumental in koala conservation. Koalas are notoriously hard to find, which means policymakers don't actually know what habitat needs saving. These guys have been trained to find old koala scats or poo, new koala scats, and even koalas themselves, broadening the koala mapping capabilities. This is not new technology, let's face it. Dogs have had a good sense of smell for a very long time. But this innovation is not used in isolation. The team uses heat monitoring drones and tracking devices to help locate and keep track of koalas. They're also developing citizen science technology with the goal of improving koala protection in urban areas. So, by telling the story of detection dogs for conservation, Curious Kai Quits School will help Dr. Rahman and her team expand koala awareness, increase buy-in into the citizen science project, and open career opportunities for future conservation technologists and dog lovers alike. So the final thing I want to leave you with is, when storytellers and scientists work together, magic can happen. Thank you for listening.